right, I got a riddle for y'all. What happens when you continue to put inmates and lock them away inside of an old-ass prison that has not updated their walls or their structure, building structure, in decades? Well, I'll tell you what happens. Better yet, let me show you.
Urgent manhunt this morning following a mass escape from a New Orleans jail. Authorities say 10 men got out. At least 3 have already been recaptured. ABC's Maria Villarreal joins us with the very latest on the search. Good morning to you, Maria.
Hey, good morning, Janae. Local schools and universities, they are on high alert. They are stepping up security on campus, and a graduation ceremony is expected to happen over the weekend. As of now, this jail escape, it happened in the heart of New Orleans. 7 dangerous criminals still on the run, leaving the community on edge. This morning, new images and details emerging from inside that New Orleans jail where 10 inmates dug their way out. Surveillance video showing 2 of the men rigorously pulling on a cell door that police say leads outside, then watch as all 10 quickly run out of the building through a loading dock door and onto the interstate.
We think this was intentional. There is much more than meets the eye.
Authorities say the group took advantage of defective locks on their usual cells making their way here, removing a bolted toilet from the wall to create their escape.
All of this has been removed and these have been clean cut. We have reason to believe that there was some assistance with this.
Scrawled on the wall above, "We innocent" and "Too easy," with an arrow toward the hole where they escaped, out of view of the officer on duty. Authorities say they broke out around 1 a.m. early Friday morning, but officers didn't realize what happened until an official head count took place at 8:30, more than 7 hours later.
Oh my God.
Police say at the time of the incident, there were no deputies at that unit, and the assigned technician had stepped away to get food.
We know that they had help. We're showing you they had help. This was coordinated.
Hold up. So there were no assigned deputies on duty at the time. And the one person that was supposed to be watching over all of these prisoners and inmates decided that it was a good time to go and get. Could you imagine being the person? Could you imagine getting a call that your DoorDash has arrived? You go out and you get that Popeye's chicken with the extra biscuit and honey pack. You go out there, you grab that Popeye's chicken bag, and when you come back, in the midst of you getting your food and grubbing, because they said they didn't even find out immediately. It wasn't even immediate, which means he didn't even check when he got the food to make sure his shit was in line and make sure everything was in order. That means he got his food, he ate his food, and then that motherfucker likely went home. It wasn't discovered until the next morning, they said, when the official head count came in, and all of a sudden the numbers are off. So he didn't even check throughout the entire night. You beyond fired, Negro. You beyond fired. And I don't even know if it was a Negro. We don't know what color he was, but I bet.
So far, 3 of the 10 escapees found hours later, 1 hiding beneath a car at a hotel in the French Quarter, and now a multi-agency manhunt intensifying for 7 more suspects, some facing murder charges, all considered armed and dangerous.
It is a disaster of epic proportions that I haven't seen, and there will certainly be an inquiry into any and everyone who played any role in helping these individuals get out of the jail. Everyone is going to be charged and prosecuted.
As of right now, 3 employees have been placed on suspension, but we do know more than 200 men and women are aiding in this manhunt as it intensifies, including the U.S. Marshals and the FBI, who are now offering a $5,000 reward for any tips that lead to an arrest.
Oh, yeah. No wonder 3 of them been caught already. Y'all offering 5 bands? I'm definitely calling the hotline if I see you Negroes. I'm definitely calling the hotline. Let me get that 5 bands real quick. And I got something in the stock market I could throw that on. I pulled up another video here of the cameras, from the camera angle, from inside of the jail, y'all. I haven't watched it yet, but I pulled it up. I don't know how long this is, and I don't know what it all tells, but apparently it's supposed to detail the escape of these inmates. So let's just watch. Okay, it doesn't have sound. No sound. And the picture quality isn't that great either, but it's good enough to see that something is going on. What is he? Is he jigging the door? Is that what he's doing right now? What door is that? He's pulling on the door. What door is that? He's trying to get open. This motherfucker's sliding. Hey, you know what I don't understand about this, y'all? I don't understand, because they said that they're investigating everybody that could have possibly been involved because somebody had to help them. That's what she said. But what could you possibly offer me on the outside? Let's say, because I believe they're hinting at people being involved that are actually working with the system and from the inside. Because they're saying it's like an inside job. What the fuck could y'all possibly offer me if I was a guard or if I was anybody else to help y'all escape? What could y'all offer me? It makes no sense to help them escape. Dang, my man's fell. He's so excited to get out. Boy, I bet you what. I tell you what. I bet you that was a great night for them. The just to be able to smell the fresh air of outside. That's why I can't go to prison, y'all. Is that them over there? Yeah, that's them. They're running across. Here goes somebody right here running across. And then I believe they're going to run across the highway. So this is the prison right here that they were able to get out of. How did no other cameras catch them? Where's the yard cameras? They were able to just scale this little ass fence and get the fuck up out of there that easily? Pathetic. Pathetic. All right, I got one more video, hopefully with some more details about how this happened in the first place. Let's check it out.
Breaking news, Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office holding a press conference now updating us on the search for those 10 inmates who escaped from the Orleans Justice Center jail.
Public safety issue, and we all need to continue to work together to solve it, to get these folks back in custody. And we are doing that. All of our energy at OPSO is going towards getting these folks back into custody and finding out exactly what happened. It's a fluid situation. When we're aiming to respond to all media inquiries as quickly as we can possibly do that, but I still have to investigate it, and the integrity of the investigation has to stand. We do acknowledge there is no way people can get out of this facility without there being some type of lapse in security.
Yeah,
There's no way.
shit.
It's almost impossible, not completely, but almost impossible for anybody to get out of this facility without help from the outside. We intend to find out exactly what happened. We know that, I want to say that we know that folks are normally locked down in this facility at 10:30 p.m., but these folks that were able to get out did so because of defective locks on the cells. I've talked about those locks since I got into office. I wrote a letter to the consent decree judge, to the city council, and everybody else who would listen. And every time I go to budget, I say the exact same thing. When you all covered our millage, I said the exact same thing. There are deficiencies in these facilities that cause public safety concerns. That's why the millage was so important.
Well,
We'll get into that a little bit more as we move forward. I need to confirm that Kendall Miles is in custody. He is being rebooked for simple escape as well. OPSO deputies found him hiding beneath the car at the Hotel Monteleone parking garage, and he was transported to OJC by the Louisiana State
Is he
Police.
crying?
We also need to acknowledge that Keith Lewis, who was
in there
previously
crying.
reported as an escaped detainee, was in a different cell. So he had been moved, but it had not been
Look at that.
updated.
Look
So
at this.
he is not on the run.
Look how easy they just pulled
There
that
were
shit away
10,
from
not
the wall.
11, and he is in our facility and did not try to escape. The remaining individuals are being actively pursued, and our deputies, in collaboration with local and state law enforcement, are working tirelessly
Then they wrote
to
too
locate
easy
and
on
return them to custody. Now we're going to try and go through a little bit of the timeline of events, because what's being reported out there isn't accurate. What we noticed is that the detainees began yanking on a cell to pull it off track. These are the cells that we keep telling them that we need to replace at great cost in this facility.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me that they was able to just yank on the cell to pull it off track, and that's how they escaped out the cell? By just yanking on it? Oh, we got lawsuits coming, y'all. We got lawsuits coming. Hey, I don't need to go to New Orleans until they catch all 10 of them. I'm good on Bourbon Street. I'm good on going there to taste that crawfish and with the rice and the beans. I'm good on it. I'm good. Let me know when y'all done caught all of them.
They were able to break, that was around 12:23 a.m. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module.
Then what the fuck was he doing?
Watching that. They were still able
Hold
to
on.
exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after technician in this facility. They were able to break, that was around 12:23 a.m. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module to be watching that. They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after breaching a wall behind a toilet in the jail. And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall, and running across the interstate shortly thereafter. We have indication that these detainees received assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department, and the escape was discovered during a routine head count at 8:30 a.m. this morning. The deputy who was on duty promptly notified jail leadership, and around probably before 9:30, we notified the United States Marshals Task Force, which includes all of our partners in the area, and that was before 9:30, about the incident. I found out myself about 9 o'clock and was on my way to the jail and moving through it. About that time, the exact time I can't give you, but it was before 9:30. I asked our personnel, have we notified NOPD? Have we notified our partners? I was told yes, the task force was notified.
All right. This is 15 minutes long, y'all. I ain't about to sit here and watch the rest of this. We done heard the gist of what happened. The jail system was terrible. It probably was outdated and has been outdated for years and years and years. And they needed something. It's unfortunately that it took something like this in order for them to go forward and get the funding that they need to update these fucking prisons to make sure that the actual inmates don't get out. Let me see if there's anything else here that I want to talk about before we get up out of here.
That's the first thing we have to do. We also have people being moved out to court. We've got to confirm who those are.
All right, so we got Antoine Massey right here with the tattoos on his face. He'll be easy to spot. He probably gonna he going to jail soon. I can guarantee you this motherfucker is gonna be caught real soon. He's probably the easiest out of all these to catch. Corey Boyd. Yep, Corey Boyd. Corey. You got Derek Groves. You got DeKeenan. What the hell? DeKeenan Dennis. Gary Price. Jermaine Donald. Keith Lewis. What the hell? How old is Keith Lewis? Keith, you might as well have just stayed in jail, brother. You look like you ain't got too much to live for. What's going on up here and shit? Keith, you probably should have just stayed in jail, bro. Cause what you gonna do out here? You look like you look homeless anyway. You was at least in there. You was probably getting 3 meals a day. That's a soap to wash your ass. Granted, you had to probably protect your booty hole while you was in there, but I mean, still, they got you soap. You probably should have stayed in there, Keith. And then we got Linton Van Buren Jr. With a name like Linton Van Buren Jr., you were supposed to be something somewhere in some type of political party, nigga. What you in prison for with a name like Van Buren? And then we got Leo Tate over here, and then Robert Moody. I think Robert Moody was the one they had in the back of the car crying.
So this is a fluid situation as we're trying to get a handle on 1,400 people in this facility. I'm going to now turn this over to Chief Jay Mallett, our Chief of Corrections, to talk a little bit more about the cell itself.
All right. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of want to hear about the cell. Hold on, y'all.
Good evening.
He look disappointed as hell.
We do know that there are several security breaches. We're investigating, but the primary security breach that concern is the facility's infrastructure. We've identified that we have a large number of high security individuals in a minimum custody facility. This particular breach of security occurred on the first floor of one of our security parts where we had slider doors. These doors are able to be manipulated by forced off the track that they're on, which allows individuals to enter and exit at will. We do know that some toiletries in a handicap cell was used to be removed. Some of the bolts, some of the toilets, some of the infrastructure, some of the fixtures were removed. We know that this could not be removed from the inside, so we are investigating that to see exactly who entered these areas, what kind of work was done, if there was work being done, and if this is an inside job.
So they said that's why they say somebody from the inside was involved in helping these 10 people get out. That's why they say that. He said the bolts couldn't be removed from the inside. He said it had to be removed from the outside. All right, I'm done listening to Kendrick Perkins' little brother talk. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This is crazy down in the case. And if you're in New Orleans, please get the fuck out of there. And if you're visiting, and if you live there, then Godspeed to you. Go ahead, get you some money, man. Get you some money. Help out. Help locate these goons. And grab that 5K. That's 5 bands, yo, per person. Who couldn't use the extra 5 bands? I know I could. I know exactly what I'm gonna do with it too. I got something in the stock market I haven't having my eye on. So make sure y'all check me out over there on my finance channel. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. I'll holler at y'all later, man. Later.